So basically what we do is virtual reality. But for a couple of minutes of next minutes, I would like to try to give you a bit broader picture than just virtual reality. So what we will talk about is more about the communication and such, rather than just virtual reality. In today's information society, it is very easy to get any data, right? This is obvious for all of us. We actually having a challenge of too many data in one time, reaching the points of information chaos. So the challenge of the world is not to get the data, but to get them in the right time and form. As Andreas was mentioning just an hour ago, standing here, we managed to make the world bigger, and now the challenge is to try to make it smaller. With the data and the communication processes all the same, and I very agree with this statement. We produced the tools which allowed us to produce the data, and now let's focus on tools which would help us getting the right one in right form. And the big corporations, big gurus are working on it, how to make these processes working. The semantic browser is something what would be the next, or is already the next generation of providing the data. But another aspect of this challenge is also to work on meta language. The language which would be understandable for everyone, easy to use, and which would make the decision-making processes going smoother. So as the title of this talk is, learn faster, understand better, decide quicker. And at i3D we strongly believe the solution for that, the answer for this challenge is virtual reality, or being more precise is to show something, to simulate something, to use the real-time 3D computer graphic. Thanks to that, you can make the processes much easier, much more understandable. Imagine 100 pages books, the manual of whatever machinery we get, right? Like, I don't know, 3D TV, right? Or a laptop or whatever. Instead of having it reading up, probably nobody really reads those manuals, but still they are included in the box we are getting, right? So instead of having it in really reading form, let's imagine we can make it as an interactive simulation, presentation, and then simulation. Instead of having I don't know, the student's book on how the certain machinery is working, let's imagine we have a 3D model which is interactive, which we can dismount, mount once again, which we can get inside, we can make it working, make it not working also, and just play with this. So being inside this model. This is much quicker, much more effective, and of course much more attractive for all of us. And this is what we think virtual reality is about. The world around us is three-dimensional, is interactive, so why not to show them, to simulate it in such a way. The technology is already there. The technology already allows for doing so. So instead of describing, let's show it. Instead of possessing the knowledge, possessing the data, let's experience. Let's make the experience of students, of employees, of anybody who needs to read it or who needs to get knowledge with something. And of course, instead of being static, having a static models, let's make an interaction. And at the end, instead of looking at the world at flat screens, let's immerse with the models we are looking, with the surroundings we are looking at. Let's make them surround us and make them immerse rather than just look at them. And this is what actually we are doing in our company, but also what we see is starting to be not just a niche technology, but really becoming a mass technology for lots of entities. The technology is used already on really different areas and very much applying to everywhere where it is dangerous to show it, to have it in real life, where it is costly to show something in real life, or where it is not attractive to have it in real life. The examples, a couple of examples of those I will show you later on. But now I try to play the movie on how we do it.
Driven by the metrics that define client satisfaction, i3D combines advanced technology with advanced storytelling techniques to produce rapid discovery, insight, and learning. We begin our process by identifying user expectations and the desired purpose or outcome of the experience. Working with the client's experts, we quickly define the major functionalities and user interactions that support the objectives. Based on reference materials, such as CAD assembly drawings, laser scan point cloud data, even standard pictures and video clips, the modeling team creates detailed geometric models using appropriate polygon meshes. Once all the 2D and 3D models are created, we use a variety of techniques to improve performance, appearance, and textures, thereby increasing the realism of the user experience. At this point, the i3D magic happens. Using authoring software we developed, we call it Quasar 3D, our programming team brings content to life, making the content interactive and ensuring the functionality of the project from start to finish. Quasar 3D is the next generation of interactive 3D authoring toolware, powerful enough to handle the most visually demanding applications, stereoscopic immersive display systems, and complex models, all in the interest of enhancing communication. At i3D, we design each application, presentation, or animation to be versatile enough to perform on multiple platforms for the greatest viewership. The same content can be viewed using advanced cave display systems, other types of highly advanced 3D graphics cluster systems, head-mounted displays, business computers with 3D monitors or projectors, and even portable devices like notebooks, tablets, and smartphones. To sum up the i3D experience, we help tell the story, we illustrate the story, and we make the story more meaningful and powerful.
In the movie, you had the occasion we took the pictures at our premises where we have a virtual cave or concave systems, and show the examples of projects we did for big corporations. Some of them are listed here. And it shows somehow that the technology is not longer just a gadget. Is really used by the big corps, by Fortune 500 companies. Few years ago, where we were starting, to our surprise, we came to idea that the virtual reality as such doesn't sound good for American market, because earlier on it was already introduced, probably too earlier. It was like beginning of 2000, 2001, where a lot of solutions were mostly presented as just a gadget thing. And to a certain extent, this was somehow repeated, and within big corporations, the slogan "virtual reality doesn't open the door." Therefore, we also need to make the story a bit different, showing first of all that the technology is already there and it really improved much. But secondly, and what is probably the main challenge for us, is to show the benefits, to show the outcomes of applying the applications, not only as being really attractive and sexy stuff, but the applications which would help in the business processes. And this is how we came to this story of communication, because in fact, the virtual reality, the 3D computer graphic is about to make those communication processes faster, smoother, and more attractive as well. And this is how we came to this cooperation with big multinationals. So showing just few examples. First of all, at certain point of time, we developed our own software platform. We called it Quasar 3D, which first of all would allow us to make the applications 3D interactive applications, and secondly to show them on the advanced display systems, like for example virtual cave. This would allow us to make the products based on Quasar 3D, which were really unique and with which we can really compete on the market. Where I think virtual reality is introduced in the large scale already is oil and gas industry. Maybe apart from automotive, this is the first industry where the VR already exists and is widely used and is not anymore just a niche technology. Why is that? As I said, it's about the safety. For example, one of the projects we did was for BP, where we simulated the gas system installation, which is supposed to be maintained frequently, where it happens that the accidents were really very often happening. The employees sent directly to these platforms were making mistakes, and if you do it in real life, it's really the name of the game is the life of those employees. Thus, the idea was to make the simulation in virtual world, which is supposed to be applicable on simple laptops. And actually, we took this project after Lockheed Martin, who make the application working, but were not able to make it working on simple laptop with integrated computer, with integrated graphic cards. And this is where Quasar 3D really helped us. So this example of such a simulation is just one of lots of them which are already introduced in oil and gas companies. Another big part of VR which is already very widely developed worldwide is medicine. You can simply imagine that showing something what is very difficult to show in real life with the virtual reality this is the solution, right? Having, for example, open body or operation simulating, it's something what was not reachable yet a few years ago by many students, where they were just once again reading the books, looking at PowerPoints, and just few of them had the occasion to look at real operation which are made by experienced doctors. Nowadays it's already there. The technology is already there where you can make this operation in virtual world. And it will develop very quickly. One of the applications we did was, we call it a physiology. I don't know whether you remember it. At school, I had at least experiences on frogs when we were cutting the frogs and looking what would happen next, right? This is, let's say, it was a standard exercise done by the medical students, for example, or even in secondary schools, it was pretty of standard. Nowadays, in EU, for example, it is prohibited. It is against the law to do so. But once again, why don't we do it in virtual world? This is what already we, for example, did with cooperation with Silesian Medical University. It's already introduced, and nowadays the students are working on those frogs, virtual frogs, rather than the real ones. Another, let's say, big example of where I think the niche technology will become a standard in few years' time is the education of engineers. In cooperation with Silesian Technical University, we did a worldwide, really unique project where 160 professors and PhD were involved in the process of exchanging their standard PowerPoints, booklets, and other stuff at the mechanical department into virtual world. So nowadays, the students, starting from year 1 to year 5, at laboratories, lectures, and tests, they can look and study the applications which are simulators, 3D visualizations, walkthroughs, instead of static models, instead of definitions. They can really go into the processes, spoil it, dismount it, make the mistakes. No problem with that. With the virtual models, you can do it, and what is even more important, you can have it developed. By buying one machinery, real one, you have it, and is just out of date after 1 year. With the virtual model, you can expand it, make it, lifting it, making year by year more up to date. So, as I said, I think in few years' time, virtual reality would become a standard in education of engineers. Yeah, automotive is another example. This is what actually we are looking at this process for 10 years already, is widely already introduced in that business. For us, we don't have much of examples of this kind of project because mostly the automotive corporations do it by themselves. It's another way, like oil and gas businesses here, they take it, but very often using it, the virtual caves, for example, projection of or styling the models. It is already done in virtual world. And another example, just new here, two new caves were opened recently in salt mine in Wieliczka, and to our surprise, it is a very common process at museums and public places where we would like to introduce the people into the, let's say, experience of watching the exponents, watching the what is to be shown, rather than just going through, being in the process. And this is how the modern museums are built. I hope that we managed to do at least part of this at museum in Wieliczka. Also, in few months' time, we would like to invite you to the Jewish History Museum in Warsaw, where another example of really innovative exposure is to be introduced. Very shortly, our story, because I understand also here quite a number of people who are thinking about the startups are. We started in 2007. It was like 3 individuals. One of us was an American guy from IBM who actually was a mentor to us and saying, yeah, this is the technology you need to look at. We believed him and put all our savings to the business to set up the company, the presentation center, and to build the team, which by that time was a really something totally new. Hardly anyone, not only in Poland, was thinking about this technology being used at businesses, because for the entertainment, for some time it was already well known, the real-time computer graphic, but having it for the, let's say, serious stuff, it was something totally new. This is why we had to really build the team from the very beginning. A bit over-investing to the business, because as you can imagine, for first years, we didn't have much projects. And it was the process of really educating potential clients. Well, this is the technology. It's not any longer just a gadget. It's really something what would help in your processes. It took some time. Nowadays, already this snowball is running, but at the very beginning, it was risky, and as I said, it required a lot of efforts and money put by us to the business. But hopefully it still is running. It still is running, and which is not so obvious, because out of 10 business, just 2 after 1 year is still operating. This is how it is with us. So we are still in, and let's hope we can develop the technology and being a part of this fast development, not only using it but also putting some standards. Just a few words about the team. What we are proud of is we are in the process of delivering the products. We are from the very beginning creating the ideas, and then through development of graphic design and programmers and integration with hardware, delivering the final products. This would require coordination and cooperation with lots of expertise. We have in the team what we call engineers after the art school, because you would require some programmers, some engineers, and some guys who can really make it well designed and attractive from how it looks like. Okay, one more thing is very important. In such a fast developing business, in such a branch like computer graphic, where every year it's just a booming industry, it is, in our idea, it is not a point to compete, rather than to gather the experience and try to cooperate. Also with potential competitors, because then you can make this cake even bigger to share. And we strongly believe in this idea, and this is why hardly ever any time we really compete by prices, for example, with others, rather trying to join the effort to gain some competitors on board and try to make the solutions together. And this is how we came to cooperation with really big players on the market, like Barco, for example, or King Abdulaziz's City for Science and Technology. Yeah, the future is, from perspective of us, is to make the future of VR in general is to try to make out of this niche technology, still niche technology, a products which are more replicable and scalable. So now our efforts also go to this direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's almost lunchtime, bare minute, but I will. Does anyone have a question? That was actually fascinating, and I would love to actually. Of course, my first use case would be gaming, of course, not the more smart things you're doing, but this is really. I've played with Oculus Rift once, and that's also that immersive reality is really something that you guys have to experience. Anyone has a question? For now? No, you all want to go to lunch, right? I know that. Will you be hanging around?
Yes, sure, of course. Dominic and myself, we will be here until the end.
Okay, until the end. So you'll have opportunities to talk directly to him. I think it's absolutely fascinating technology. I love the video you did. And thank you for this talk. That was really great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lunchtime! See you later, everyone. Thank you so much.